Are you currently facing a layoff and wondering not only how you're going to survive, but how you can also thrive during this challenging time? That is exactly the question I was asking myself when I was unexpectedly laid off from my job. Which is why I'm going to share with you valuable tips and tricks to help you navigate through your layoff and come out stronger on the other side. 7 months ago, I was right where you might be now, dealing with the stress and surprise of a sudden layoff. It's been a tough ride with a lot of worrying and fear about what's going to happen next. I am still applying to jobs and I'm facing a lot of uncertainty about my future and my finances, but through all the chaos, I have found a strength within me that I didn't know that I had, and I've picked up quite a few strategies that are helping me get through this difficult time. Today, I want to pass those tips and strategies along to you. From managing your finances to trying to keep a positive outlook in a sea of darkness, everything I'm sharing is coming from my own personal experience. So let's just dive right into those tips. Tip number 1 is to keep a positive mindset. This is probably the hardest part of the unemployment journey, is to try to stay positive when you're facing a lot of uncertainty and fear about finances and finding your next position. I think it's really easy to fall into a negative mindset and a pattern of repetitive negative thoughts when you're in a situation like this, because there's so many different things that are on your mind. However, maintaining a positive, hopeful outlook can really make a difference on how you handle the situation and how you find new opportunities. So a couple examples of things that you can do to help maintain a positive mindset. I know that these are gonna sound a little maybe lame or cringy or cliche, but they do really help, and I've practiced quite a few of these myself over the last 7 months. One thing you can do is state or write positive affirmations. There actually is a science behind why affirmations can make a difference. Affirmations work by rewiring your brain through repetition, creating new positive neural pathways, and reinforcing a more optimistic mindset. So you can say the affirmations out loud. You can go on YouTube and search for a daily affirmations video, or you can write them as well. I typically write one positive affirmation a day in my 5-minute journal, and then sometimes if I'm having a really bad day, I will put on a daily affirmations video. I like the ones that are from the YouTube creator Lavender, so I frequently listen to hers and I repeat them out loud. I have also heard that affirmations typically work better and are more reinforced in your mind and in your neural pathways if you're doing them in the morning when you're waking up or when you're falling asleep. So sometimes if I'm having a hard time falling asleep, I will just repeat a few positive affirmations until I fall asleep, and that typically makes me feel better and calms me down enough so I can fall to sleep. Another thing you can do to keep a positive outlook is to have a gratitude journal. So you can write down things that you're grateful for, so that way instead of focusing on what you've lost, you're focusing on what you still have and why you're thankful and happy to have that. The third thing that you can do is surround yourself with a community of positive, optimistic people. Being around Debbie Downers and energy vampires can make it really hard for you to stay in a positive and healthy mindset on a regular day. So being around people like that when you're already suffering through a period of unemployment with all this stress is just really not good for you. So I highly recommend to seek out people that are going to boost your mood, boost your morale, that are happy people, that aren't complaining about things, because that can really make a difference. I personally have noticed a big difference in my mood and my energy being around people who complain a lot or just typically like grumpy, not happy people. So I'm always trying to surround myself with happy people, optimistic people that typically have like a positive vibe to them. So I actually made a list of all the good things that had happened to me when I hit that 6-month mark of being unemployed. So that way, instead of reflecting on the fact that I didn't find a job yet despite all the things that I've done to try to get a job, I can look at all the things that I accomplished since losing my job. So that way I have a different perspective of the good and the bad. Tip number 2 is to manage your finances. Tracking your spending and coming up with a budget is crucial during your layoff. Reviewing your financial situation, cutting any unnecessary spending, and trying to generate some side income if possible is a great way to have a financial cushion as well as a peace of mind while you're looking for your next role. When I was laid off back in January, one of the first things I did was I looked at my budget. I have always kept a tracking spending summary, so I typically always know where my money's going and how much money I have coming in every month. So I did take a look at that. I cut any unnecessary spending, got rid of subscriptions, other services. I haven't really been buying anything. So there's a lot of different ways that you can track your spending. There's a lot of apps, and of course you could do kind of the old-fashioned way like I do, where I just put everything in an Excel document. So a few things that I do to generate some side income is I use the Fetch app, where you scan a copy of your receipt from the grocery store and then you get points. Once you have enough points, you can use those to redeem them for a gift card. I typically redeem them for a gift card for Amazon, but there's tons of other store options on the app. Additionally, I sell my unwanted clothes or household goods on Poshmark. I've also applied to several part-time jobs, even ones that are only 5 to 10 hours a week, so that way I do have some sort of income coming in. And there's a lot of other options out there for side hustles. There's survey sites, there's research surveys that you can be a part of. There's Rover for dog walking, there's Poshmark, Mercari, selling on eBay, and of course I'm posting on YouTube in hopes of eventually monetizing my channel, so I have other income coming in that way as well. Tip number 3 is to continue focusing on your hobbies and interests. Don't let your passions and hobbies fall by the wayside. Engaging in activities that you enjoy can help reduce stress and boost your mental health and well-being. During the job hunting process, make sure you set aside some time and even plan it in your calendar to spend time doing your hobbies or activities or whatever you may enjoy or like to do for fun. Another thing that you could do is join a club or a group focusing around an activity that you enjoy. This might be something that meets during the week or something you never had time to do before because you were working. So not only is this a great way to get you away from your computer screen or your phone screen and worrying about the job hunt, but it can also give you an opportunity to meet new people and network as well. Additionally, you could use this free time to learn a new hobby or a skill. Maybe you have a bucket list of things that you always wanted to do, which is something that I had. I actually recently created an unemployed bucket list in a couple videos ago, where I made a list of all the things that I always wanted to do but just never had time or energy to do because I was always working. To be honest, I've actually really struggled with this because I've been so hyper fixated on applying to jobs and working on my YouTube channel that there's been quite a few times where I felt a little burnout from doing those two things, and I needed to remind myself that I have to get out of the house, go for a walk, pick up a coloring book, read a book, make a plan with a friend to go see them, just anything to get myself out of the hyper-focused mentality of I have to find a job, I have to check my LinkedIn every 5 seconds or my email. Tip number 4 is to learn new skills. Online courses or workshops can help you upskill, enhance your skills, learn a new skill, and make you a more attractive candidate to your next job opportunity. Continuous learning not only adds value to your skill set, but it helps to keep you engaged and motivated. So there's a lot of options online for courses now. There's Udemy, LinkedIn, Coursera. There's also a lot of certificate programs that you can get online. I personally took the Google Digital Marketing and E-commerce certificate that was through Coursera. It took me 4 months to complete, and I did have to pay for that, but I was able to get financial aid. So even though you might not be in a position where you can pay for something, there's always the possibility of financial aid from a Coursera class, or there's a lot of free options out there as well. Additionally, you can attend an industry-related workshop or webinar That way you can get caught up with industry trends and network with other professionals as well. Tip number 5 is to make sure you focus on self-care. Focusing on your mental health during a difficult time is very important. Make sure to take breaks, lean on your support system, and limit the time that you spend staring at your computer screen. You can incorporate meditation, journaling, or simply going outside and taking a walk to help reduce stress. Additionally, you can also seek professional help like a therapist or a counselor to help you navigate through all the emotional challenges. Since I was laid off, I have taken quite a few self-care days, and you can actually check out my video, A Cozy Self-Care Day, to get more inspiration. I also like to use the Pomodoro method just to make sure that I'm taking frequent breaks. So I typically work for 50 minutes, take a 10-minute break, come back, work for another 50 minutes and another 10-minute break, and then eventually go on a longer break. Tip number 6 is to stay productive. Maintaining a routine is key to staying productive. Avoid falling into the trap of sleeping in and binge watching TV all day, every day. Start or continue a passion project or find other activities that can keep you engaged and motivated. You can design a daily and weekly routine that includes job searching, skill building, as well as personal time. Additionally, you can create daily or weekly goals to help you maintain your progress and motivation. So I created a schedule where I can focus on my YouTube channel, look at jobs, clean the house, and then have free time to do whatever I want. I use a weekly goal planner where I write down all the tasks and things that need to be done daily and weekly. And I also have a long-term 2024 goal planner that I use as well. I've also been taking my YouTube channel more seriously. So before my layoff, that was just a hobby that I did whenever. And since being laid off, I've been posting more consistently and putting a lot of more time and energy into my YouTube channel. So that's really helped me maintain a routine and give me something to look forward to and get me excited to wake up and be productive. Tip number 7 is to stay persistent. Rejection and criticism is just part of the job hunting process, but staying persistent is essential. Keep applying, networking, and adding on to your skill set. One thing that I have found really helpful to help keep me persistent and organized during this job search is to keep a job application tracker. That way I know when I apply to the role, what position it was for, the company, when I need to reach back out to them, etc. Remind yourself with past successes and to stay focused on your goals even with setbacks. I have received dozens of rejection letters and I haven't even made it into the second round of interviews. And there has been a lot of times where I have had a mental breakdown and I've started crying and freaking out. And I just let those feelings happen, realize that feeling that way and feeling sad and depressed during this time is completely valid, but this is just a fleeting moment in the blimp of my lifetime, and that what's happening right now isn't going to be forever. And I always just remind myself of my positive thoughts and positive affirmations after I have like a depressed episode or a setback, and then just keep moving forward and keep pushing through, knowing that eventually I am gonna find a role or a position or an opportunity is gonna present itself to me. Tip number 8 is to update your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Many positions require a LinkedIn profile when you apply, so make sure that you have that profile updated and it's reflecting your skills and your accomplishments. So with your resume, you want to make sure to update your most recent work experience and highlight any achievements or skills that you have. Additionally, it can be helpful to tailor your resume to each job that you're applying for. In this market, that might be a little difficult to tailor each and every resume when you're applying to hundreds, maybe 1,000 different jobs. So what I have done is I have a resume tailored to each industry. So one for operations, one for digital marketing and communications. And I have done very specific resume tailoring for some of the jobs I've applied to. But to be honest, at this point, I think I've rewritten my resume maybe a dozen times just to see what's working and to keep it updated for each job that I apply to. Additionally, you want to optimize your LinkedIn profile. You want to make sure that you have a professional profile picture, that your LinkedIn title and headline are optimized, that you fill out the summary section and any other relevant sections on that LinkedIn profile. You can also add any relevant keywords to the positions or industry that you're looking to apply in. If you want to learn more about optimizing your LinkedIn profile, I suggest doing some Google research or look up a couple videos on YouTube, because there's a lot of different ways that you can optimize your profile to get noticed by recruiters. Tip number 9 is to beware of negative commentary. Negative comments or feedback can be really discouraging and hurtful, but don't let that affect your confidence. Take criticism with a grain of salt, and remember that staying calm and professional is the best way to handle negativity. Sometimes responding with kindness can turn the negative situation around. I also think it's important to differentiate negative commentary from constructive criticism. So if you are receiving constructive criticism, you want to review that and take that in and see how you can apply that to your job search. I personally have dealt with a lot of negative comments from people I know in my life, as well as quite a few here on my YouTube channel on my Unemployed Diary series. And even though it can be frustrating to receive negative feedback when you're trying to make the most out of a bad situation, for me, I've learned that even though the negative comments may make me feel hurt at first, that it's more important to remain calm and respond with kindness, or just not say anything at all. So I think it's really important to stay kind to yourself and remind yourself that everyone experiences negative comments and criticism, and that you just need to let it go and remain calm and not try to fight back, and just move on and stay true to yourself. Tip number 10 is to practice empathy. Empathy not only helps in job searching and networking, but also into maintaining positive relationships. Understanding and connecting with others on a personal level can open doors to new opportunities, as well as create a supportive network. Practice active listening during conversations. Show a genuine interest in people's experience and feelings. Offer support and encouragement to others who may be going through similar challenges. Additionally, approach networking with the focus on building authentic relationships instead of just focusing on creating opportunities for yourself. This one has been hard for me, especially because I have felt jaded from my previous work experiences, but I am doing my best to let the past in the past and understand humans better. Everyone goes through a hard time, so I'm trying to be more compassionate and understanding and supportive of other people and their situations. So that's all the tips that I have for you. I hope these tips will help you make the best out of a bad situation and come out stronger on the other side of your layoff. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe to stay updated on my journey. And if you want to dive deeper into my unemployment experience and other tips that I have, make sure you watch my Unemployed Diaries video playlist, which is linked below in the description box. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to connect with you in the next video.